Assalamualaikum. We are from AM225CB. Today we are present to you financial statement analysis of 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad. I am first presenter Suryati binti Mayasir.
I am second presenter Nufazila binti Mustafa Adik.
I'm the third presenter, Shakurata binti Syahrul Anwar.
And I am fourth presenter Nur Hidayah binti Lokman.
Before we're going to see the next slide for our presentation, I want to let you know that we are doing the financial statement analysis is to make optimal decision that can give a future impact on the actions and decisions of the firm. Therefore, we're doing a financial statement analysis for 7-Eleven to know their future actions and decision for the impact for their futures of the company.
So for the company backgrounds for the 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad, through its subsidiary 7-Eleven Malaysia, Berhad is the owner and operator of 7-Eleven store in Malaysia. It is incorporated on 4 June 1984. 7-Eleven Malaysia has made its mark in the retailing scene and remain prominent icon for over 30 years. It is the pioneer and largest 24-hour standalone convenience store, operated in Malaysia with 2,287 outlets nationwide and serve close to 1 million customers daily. So for the liquidation ratio is a financial ratio that indicates whether a company current asset will be sufficient to meet the company obligation when they become due. So for the first terms in the liquidation ratio is the current ratio. The formula for the current ratio is current asset divided with current liability. So for the financial statement analysis in 2018 for the current ratio, 7-Eleven has RM 0.67 of current liability, and it for every RM 1 ringgit of current asset, and for the 2017 7-Eleven has 0.63 for every 1 ringgit of current asset. So for the current ratio, both year shows that they are not able to pay its liability, as the definition say that higher the ratio, greater the ability of the firm to pay its debt. This shows that 7-Eleven may have difficulty to pay its liability on time. However, low values not always indicate as a critical problem. Next. For the recommendation to improve their current ratio is 7-Eleven need to improve by raising shareholders funding. When the current assets are financed by equity rather than credited, the levels of current asset will increase with current liability remaining the same. Thus, this will improve the current ratio. Moreover, owner funds, for example, capital, reserve, and surplus should remain invested in the firm to balance the current ratio. Okay. Second is pay off current liability. Not only does the current ratio depend on current asset, it is equally depend on the current liability. 7-Eleven should pay off their current liabilities as often as possible. It will decrease the level of current liability and therefore improve their current ratio. Early payment to the creditors can save interest costs and earn discount, which will direct impact on the profit of the firm. The second term in the liquidation ratio is quick ratio, or known as acid test ratio. The formula for the acid test ratio is current asset minus with inventory and also minus with prepaid expenses and divided with current liability. In 2018, 7-Eleven has RM 0.28 for current liability and it has RM 0.28 for current liability and for every 1 ringgit of current asset. And 2017, 7-Eleven has RM 0.29 for current liability for every 1 ringgit of current asset. So we can figure out from the ratio that 7-Eleven still cannot pay its debt without its inventory. This leads 7-Elevens to believe that 7-Eleven is a somewhat risky business. So for other recommendation to increase their asset test ratio is 7-Eleven needs to increase sales and inventory turnover, which can increase a company cash on hand because cash is the most liquid asset. The better the company is at increasing its sales or improve inventory turnover, the more cash will available for the company to meet its short-term obligations. The next recommendation is 7-Eleven need to improve their collection period. They need to reducing the collection period of account receivable will have a direct and positive impact on a company quick ratio. When the collection period is shorter, it can help to boost a company. The third is the pay off liability as early as possible. By keeping the company liability under control is essential to improving the quick ratio. Keeping them low will put 7-Eleven in better position. This can be achieved through paying off creditor faster whenever possible and reducing the repayment. The last term for the liquidation ratio is cash ratio. The formula for cash ratio is cash divided with current liability. In 2018, in 2017, it was RM 0.11, while in 2018 was 0.12. This shows that both years has lower cash ratio than 1 ringgit. This means that 7-Eleven were not able to cover all liability immediately without having to sell or liquidate other assets. That's all from me.
Okay, so we move to leverage ratio. Leverage ratio is any one of several financial measurements that look at how much capital comes in the form of debt and loans. It is the ability of a company to meet its financial obligation. Okay, so for that ratio, this is the formula of that ratio, and this is that ratio for 2018, which is we get 22.94, and for 2017 we got 23.39. Okay, so in the year of 2018, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad has lowered that ratio, which is 23.39, which is better than 2017 that has higher debt ratio, which is 22.94, whereas in the year of 2018 they are more sufficient to pay off its debt and interest. Okay, so for the recommendation for that ratio is the 7-Eleven Malaysian Holding Berhad need to increase the amount of payback monthly towards their debt and avoid taking more debt to keep their debt ratio lower. Okay, so for the debt to equity ratio, this is the formula of debt to equity ratio ratio. Okay, so for 2018, the debt to equity ratio we get 1.85, and for the 2017 we get 2.513. Okay, so it shows that the year of 2017, 7-Eleven Malaysian Holding Berhad has a higher ratio, which is 2.513 times of company financing that comes from creditors and investors compared to the year of 2018. whereas 2018 implies more financially stable business because the ratio is lower, which is 1.859 times. Okay, so for the time, interest and ratio, this is the formula. Okay, so for 2018, the time, interest and ratio, we get 8.458. Okay, so for time, interest and ratio, this is the formula. And for time and interest and ratio for 2018, we get 8.454, and for 2017, we get 8.636. So in the year of 2017, 7-Eleven Malaysian Holding Berhad is more capable in paying their interest of debt, with their time, interest and ratio is 8.636 times compared to the year of 2018, where their capability in paying back the interest on its debt is lower, whereas the time interest is 8.454 times. Okay, so for the recommendation, the 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad need to improve their time interest and ratio with managing its debt repayment or in financial leverage with the most efficient way in order to increase their time interest and ratio.
Next financial statement analysis is activity, or known as efficiency ratio. The activity ratio is measured to see how effective the company uses its assets. Okay, first we're going to look on the inventory turnover. Okay, the formula here is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory will get the inventory turnover. So here is the result. Okay, for 2018 it shows that the inventory turnover is 6.23 times, and 2017 is 6.74 times. So the comment here, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad's inventory turnover for 2018 and 2017, it can be seen that the company effectively using its inventory to generate sales in 2017, which is more than 2017, which is 6.23 times. Okay, so here inventory turnover, we calculate inventory turnover in order to show how many times the company sold and replace inventory during a given period, so that they can make a better decision on the pricing, manufacturing, marketing, and also purchasing of inventory. So here for 7-Eleven, it shows that they might have weak sales and also possibly excess inventory, or known as overstocking. That because of that, the 2018 inventory turnover is slightly lower than 2017. Okay, so here I recommend two recommendation for 7-Eleven. For 7-Eleven, where the first recommendation is in order for 7-Eleven to increase the turnover ratio, they need to forecast. They need to create a better forecasting. This means they need to forecast the demands of the customer correctly, so that the company just need to stock up the needed items in the 7-Eleven. Okay, so by better forecasting, it could help to reduce the inventory level, but increase the inventory turnover ratio. And second, I will recommend to for the 7-Eleven to improve their sales. This means the company need to formulate a better marketing strategy in order to attract or increase the demands of industry, and thus push its sales. Okay, they can improve the sales by focusing on the advertisement, promotional events or offer. Okay, activity ratio is average collection period. Okay, so here is the formula. Okay, accounts receivable divide by sales and times 365 to know how the company able to collect the debt. Okay, so here is the result for 2018. It shows that they collect the average collection period is 15 days, and for 2017 the average collection period is 18 days. Okay, so the comment, average collection period for 2018 is lower than 2017, which is 15 days and 18 days respectively, and show that the 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad improved their collection, their collecting method, which made the company to collect the payment faster. Okay, so it's this shows that the 7-Eleven able to collect the payment faster. However, there is a downside to this, as others may indicate that the 7-Eleven have a strict credit terms. Therefore, because of they have a credit strict terms, the others might choose other supplier, the supplier or other provider might choose other company that have more lenient payments. So in order for them to maintain or collect their payment faster, they can provide a discount for the creditors in order for them to make a payment faster. For example, if they make a payment within 7 days, the company will give a 10% discount on the debt, for example. Or they also can give a free gift like umbrella or whatsoever in order to maintain the average collection periods to be lower or make the payment faster. Okay. Next we're going to look on the total assets turnover. Okay. The formula here is net sales divide with the average total assets will get the total assets turnover. The result here shows that the 2018 we got the total 2.96 times, and for 2017 2.75 times. Okay, so this shows the comment, the total assets turnover used as an indicator for the efficiency of the 7 Malaysia Holdings Berhad using its asset to generate the revenue. Okay, so it shows that in 2018 7-Eleven get a 2.96 times, which is higher than 2017, which is 2.7 times. This shows that 7-Eleven have effectively using their assets to generate the sales. Okay, for here 7-Eleven have actually a good total assets turnover, but in order to maintain as total assets turnover, they can improve the efficiency. Okay, where the company find a way to use its assets efficiency, efficiently by by measure the machine output, and if it can, and determine if it can be increase the output without increasing the labor cost, and other types in order to maintain the total assets turnover in terms of delivery vehicle, ensure that the delivery vehicle is full load, okay, full loads of product in the vehicles, rather than make several trips with a small loads. Okay, next for types of activity ratio is receivable turnover. Here is the formula: net sales divided by average account receivable. Okay, so the result shows that 2018 we got 23.72 times, while 2017 shows we got 19.27 times. Okay, so for the receivable turnover for the 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad shows that for 2018, company collecting its receivable 23.72 times more than 2017, which is 19.227 times. That convey that the company collections of account receivable is efficient, and that the company has a high proportion of quality customer that can pay their debts quickly. Okay. Next, last type for the activity ratio is fixed assets turnover. Here is the formula, and the result shows that for 2018 we got 6.18 times, and for FATO, and 2017 we got 5.66 times. So here it shows that 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad in 2018 fixed total assets, fixed assets turnover is more effectively than 2017, and this indicate that 7-Eleven efficiency in generating the sales from its existing fixed asset, and high ratio indicates that 7-Eleven has less money tied up in their fixed asset for each unit of sales revenue. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next I will present about the profitability ratio. Okay, first I will define about the profitability ratio. Profitability ratio measure how effectively the firm use the resources to generate income. So the first three ratio reported are probably the best known and most widely used for the financial ratio. Okay, next, basically investor will be more happier if the profitability ratio become increased by year by year. So it is consists with the gross profit margin, operating profit margin, net profit margin, return on asset, and return on equity. So next, okay, for the first term of the profitability ratio is gross profit margin. Okay, this is the formula for the gross profit margin, which is gross profit divided by the total sales times 100. So it is shown here for the 2018, which is more higher than the 2017. So for the GPM, the higher percent is better. So 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad in the 2018 have the larger percentage. So it shows that 7-Eleven Malaysia Berhad is manage their cost of inventory well and efficiently, and pass the subsequent product to the customer also very well in the 2018. So for the next term, okay, so for the recommendation to 7-Eleven to increase more their gross profit margin in the next year, so they need to try to decrease their cost of goods, which is COGS, by try to decreasing their expenses in terms of operation. So for the next terms of the profitability ratio, which is operating profit margin, this is the formula for the OPM, operating profit divided by net sales times 100. So in 2018, the percentage of APM is 3.78%, and 2017 3.65%. So for the OPM, the higher percentage is better. So due to the growth of the company in the 2018, it shows that the company control the operating system more efficient and sufficient of the cost management, and more profitable for their business. So for the next term is a net profit margin. This is for formula for the net profit margin: net income divided by net sales times 100. So in the NPM, the higher percentage is better. So in 2018, so 2018 they got a 2.32% and 2017 2.29%. So basically, even though the increasing of the net profit margin only 0.03, it shows that the company still can increase their profit. Still can increase their profit in terms even after paying the expenses and all the debt, and it's still favorable to all the customer. So for the recommendation, net profit margin can be seen before deducting the corporation tax, known as the net profit before tax, or after deducting the corporation tax, known as profit after tax. So for the 7E Malaysia, for their acquire for more the higher profit in the future, so they need to try to decreasing their operating expenses by evaluate all the operating that the business incurs. So for example, for the insurance premium of the staff, to the overhead and supplies, and whereas the company can reduce the spending. So for the next term is return on asset. So for the return on asset, in the year 2018, 7E Malaysia got 13.14%, and for the 2017, 6.33%, 30%. So it increased 6.84% in a year. So it shows that the company are doing a good job in their asset to generate the sales. So return on asset is important for the company to evaluate the performance measure of the efficiency of the company, managing their investment in asset, and using them to generate their profit itself. So next, for the return on equity, ROE. Okay, this is the formula of the ROE, which is the net income divided by shareholder equity times 100. So in terms of the return of equity, the higher percentage is better. But for the 7E Malaysia Berhad, for the 2018 they got 55.51%, and 2017 67.68%. So it shows that the percentage of the return on equity decreased by 12.7% because 7E Malaysia not efficiently using the equity provided by the shareholder during the specific year. So main reason of the decreasing of the equity because it is because due to the small net income compared to the equity. So for the this is basically the reason for the decreasing of the ROE. In the notes of 19 of the financial statement 7E Malaysia Holding Berhad, based on the notes, they distribute as a dividend during the year for the 2018, but not in 2017. So based on the notes, the director of the company are committed to enhance the value of the company for its shareholder, and they believe that the repurchase of plan can be applied in the best interest of the company and its shareholder. So the repurchase transaction were financed by internally generated fund and held the treasury share. So basically this is their strategies to how to generate their funds for the and use for the equity of the shareholder more efficiently. So for the recommendation, 7E Malaysia need to increase their profit margin more because the increase basically the increasing of the profit margin does not necessarily come from the product itself. So it can also come from by lowering or reducing the expenses and operation, or reducing the overhead expenses. So however, the extremely high return equity is the only good thing if the net of profit company is higher. Basically 7-Eleven only generate the profit in a year only increase 0.33. It is
much more differences between their return or their shareholder equity. So so that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so for the conclusion of financial statement analysis of 7-Eleven. Okay, so 7-Eleven Malaysia Holding Berhad on performance on their liquidity ratio are not quite good, which is there are insufficient cash in hand to pay back their short-term debt, and also on their activity ratio, they are not that effective in using its inventory to generate their sales. But however, their financial performance are stable because their balance sheet is showing a good result.